Good afternoon, this is Jim Lakey with news announcements for St. John and Maxville, Kansas, and on sandylandcenter.org, our website. Today is January 9. Remember, it's 2018 now. The temperature at noontime is 52 here in the square, and we're having a sunny day today. 62 the high temperature and 40 the low temperature. And it's going to get worse later in the week. Tomorrow 62 again for the high, 20 the low. And then we have another shot at really low weather. Thursday will be windy and sunny, 29 the high, 13 the low. Followed by Friday with 4 the low, 37 the high, and then something in the middle, 23 on Saturday, partly cloudy and 11, and then finally back to more like normal on Sunday, 39 the high, 16 the low. So it's going to be very cool. Now we have one birthday, and that's tomorrow. Happy birthday to Alan Norris. We hope that your birthday is well and that you have a good day to celebrate. Now, as I get into other things, I want everybody to be thinking about after the news is finished. Jeffrey Lyon is doing a special, and he's doing special programs to explain and show and demonstrate. And today's is the comic book club at the school. And there are a lot of activities that we don't know about that go on at the school. They have other clubs, and so he'll be doing a special on many of those clubs to let anybody know who wants to look at it on the internet. That they can see what it's all about. Well, again, we're back with our announcements and our trips, and we have 3 of those to think about. The Recreation Commission on the 11th, which is coming up this weekend, the 11th, and they're going to a place, it's called A Step Back into Time. It's in Inman, Kansas, and it has a 1800 village square to be a tourist of, and Rock Island Depot and Caboose are there, and many more things to see. So they leave at 9. After they go to the museum tour, they have lunch at the Harvest Cafe, an authentic German food, and a buffet. And then they return to St. John when they're done. Then on going way back, January 14th and January 18th, I'm sorry, Lunch Bunch is at Bob's Bar and Grill in Turon, Kansas. And they've been there before. It was always a good trip. 10:30 they leave here. And it's possible after lunch to stop at Walmart in Pratt on the way back. And then on the last day of the event, or the next to last day, Tuesday is a trip to Great Bend, shopping at Walmart, and lunch is out. And they're having lunch at a place called Lumpy's at 11:30. And that trip is going to be on Tuesday, the 30th of the month. And of course, somewhere in there, the last Wednesday of the month is going to be a bingo day, like it usually is. Now, for our menu, at the Sunflowers today, they're having pinto beans and ham, cauliflower, and green salad. On Wednesday, they're having pot roast, mashed potato, brown gravy, and carrots. And on Thursday, paprika chicken, buttered noodles, broccoli, and breaded tomatoes. And it's a good idea to check out the menus and to be a participant, especially if you're a senior. And I believe people that aren't seniors can go to the fellowship meal at the senior center. But it costs them $1 more or something like that for the lunch. And that's all the other great things. And so the next thing you know, you're going to be hearing from Jeffrey Lyons doing a report on what goes on at the high school comic book club.
Hello, I'm Jeffrey Lyon, president of the St. John Comic Book Club.
And I am Zachary Blue, vice president of the Comic Book Club.
And we're here today to discuss Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So Zach, I gotta say, I really kind of enjoyed this story.
Yeah, I did it too. I really liked the background, and I liked the art. It was really good.
For me, I think it was really great just seeing how this would play out, with Batman kind of coming in on the investigation. He's the Dark Knight, he's a detective. So already having events happened and then going into the investigation from like the middle point, and going forward, I think that was kind of a clever idea.
That was. I really liked it.
I think for me, the way they meshed Shredder with other big kind of mafia bosses in DC Comics, like the Penguin and Ra's al Ghul, that was another good stroke of brilliance. Because in a way, Shredder, because do you know much about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I know, plenty.
So Shredder, he's kind of like half mob crime boss, half leader of a ninja team, right?
Yeah.
And Penguin and Ra's al Ghul kind of make up both halves, because you got Penguin, who's kind of the crime mob boss, and you got Ra's al Ghul, who's leader of a ninja group, although it's more assassins.
Yeah, what I really liked about it is that it added a whole bunch of characters from both the Ninja Turtles and the Batman.
That is true. I mean, you don't get a ton of... It's more... I think the book's more Batman. I mean, he's kind of more central. This is taking place in D.C. So his characters, his people get more priority. When you look at Casey Jones, he doesn't really have much to do in the story. And then April, she doesn't really show up until the end part. But
yeah.
Other than that, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable.
So I'll say this, I haven't really read or seen much on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles until reading this, so it was kind of neat to see them for me. So what was like some of your favorite parts of this book?
I really liked the part when Michelangelo was riding the dinosaur and
Yes.
he was saying these funny things.
I know. I mean, what is it that he says here? This is everything I have ever wanted in my entire life. I mean, that basically sums it up. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want to ride a dinosaur?
Yeah.
That is great. I gotta say, that was kind of funny. And then, of course, Batman just shows up and drops in on him. And then how they steal the Batmobile.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, there is another thing. It's like, Alfred's like, no way are you going to do this. And then they crash it through the wall. Spoiler alert, spoiler warnings, I guess. We should have probably said that at the beginning. We'll do something like that. So, that's just great. Some of those little bits. And then the sewers, Killer Croc in the sewers.
Oh, yeah.
Not my pony racer. I don't even get that, but that is good.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Well, I gotta say for me, one thing I really gotta say is the big finale there at Arkham, all the mutagen Batman villains, to me that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good.
So
I liked how the Shredder and the Foot Clan joined with the Batman villains. So it was basically the good versus the bad. I really like that.
good versus bad and ugly. Actually, no. I mean, the animal designs in here were amazing to look at. Like, I love that. Who do you think was one of your favorite villain mutations?
I liked Penguin, except he wasn't a mutation.
Well, I mean, he did turn into a penguin.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Penguin was really cool. I've always been a fan of Penguin. His clever words, clever mind.
I think for me, one of my personal favorites would probably be Mr. Freeze becoming a polar bear. I mean, I really like big, powerful characters, and so to see Mr. Freeze turn into a polar bear, that was pretty cool. And Michelangelo and how he's so enthralled by the idea of a polar bear with a freeze gun making ice puns. That was great.
That was good.
So, I mean, I do enjoy Mr. Freeze because he's kind of this tragic story, you know? He's not just out for the money or anything. He's trying to save his wife who's dying, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of he's one of those noble villains.
You know, the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that's pretty neat. And I also like Bane being an elephant because I like elephants.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting why they chose an elephant for him. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know what else they would have had.
that's actually interesting. I mean, part of it, they did a lot of mammals and birds. Like, you think about that, I mean, Joker was the only reptile, I think, right?
I believe so.
And then Poison Ivy is probably the most unique and probably one of the coolest designs of being a praying mantis. That would have been cool, seeing like Bane as a scorpion guy or something. Now that would have been awesome.
That would be cool.
So, what do you think? You know, I think we've been seeing its praises quite a bit. So, do you have anything like you didn't like about it too much?
Not really. I thought it was a really good story, a good storyline, good background, good art. Everything was how the Ninja Turtles and the Batman normally is.
I think for me, my only thing I didn't care too much for in this was just how Raphael, he just ripped into Batman. Oh, he's not being serious. I don't really know the Turtles too well. I kind of have an idea as to who they are, but for me, that part was just it felt a little weird to me. Just why would he go ripping into Batman like that without even knowing who he was?
Yeah, he is like that normally.
Alright, well that's interesting. I think the only thing that I think could have made this better was more Casey Jones action.
Yeah.
That probably would have been cool.
I really like Casey Jones.
So, I mean, he seems like a cool character.
Yeah, he's good.
But also, I just keep wishing that they would have done some kind of Batman and Robin turning into an actual Bat and Robin with the mutant. I mean, obviously, you know, it wouldn't have been a huge problem. I mean, eventually it would have worn off. I mean, it would have looked really cool. I think, I mean, like I say, it's kind of double-edged sword for me on it, because to me, on one hand, it serves the purpose of allowing the villains to be mutated and then go back to being normal. But at the same time, I just didn't care too much for, the mutant gen is going inert, you know, and the turtles will die. I think he was a bit of an interesting plot thread, but I also feel like it was, you know, it's a little touch and go for me, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I think we've done a pretty good job of covering this.
Yeah, I think we got all of it.
So, well,
Well, I am Zachary Blue from Vice President of the Comic Book Club.
and I'm Jeffrey Lyon, President of the St. John Comic Book Club, wishing you a super day.
Well, now we know all about the comic book club. The word of the day is this. Another good thing about telling the truth is that you don't have to remember what you said. This is Jim Lakey, hoping you have a terrific Tuesday.